Well, certainly a lot of disappointment in the building tonight. It was obvious when you heard from Coach Hastings the fact that the Mavericks led an opportunity tonight where they had one-goal leads a couple of times, and then in overtime they didn't even get the opportunity to get a point out of this one tonight as they lose by a score of 3-2 in overtime. McLean with the game winner, 3:55 in the extra session. And really, the Mavericks let it slip away.
Oh, no question about it. This is a game that I really thought for the first 25, 26 minutes, it was Maverick hockey all the way. And then Bowling Green kind of found their game. Mavericks set up a couple of plays for them, allowed them to score. And then in overtime, unable to finish a couple opportunities that they had on the power play especially. Nearly give up a shorthanded goal, a 2-on-none. Get save on that one. But then the last play is just one that I'm sure Mike Hastings is going to show on film tomorrow and say, we can't let that happen.
Yeah, we'll take a look at some of the highlights throughout the contest. And again, through a good portion of regulation, it was the Mavericks with various leads of one goal. And we'll start it out here with the Maverick goal.
Ian Scheid, his sixth of the season at 14:25, made it Mavericks 1-0, and that's the way we stood through one period of play. Mavericks 1-0. In the second, Kevin DeFore from Spezia at 7:57 evens the game at 1 apiece. Nice shot there. Zach Steppen, though, will follow this up from Jordan Nelson, and he puts it away at 17:04 of the second period to make it 2-1 Mavericks. But just about a minute and 41 seconds later, Bowling Green comes right back, and DeFore, with his second goal of the game, his 8th of the season, 18:45 unassisted, evens the game at 2 in the final minute and half of the second period to make it 2-2, and that's the way we stood all the way through the third period until late in overtime. And we'll get a look at it here. Just one good pass across ice. Nelson had no chance whatsoever. And as you mentioned, McLean, the leading scorer in the conference, finishes like a good goal scorer would. He opens up very nicely and puts it away, and that's the end of the game.
And really a lot of time when you look at the Falcon goals there, something Mike Hastings does not like to see, creating the other team's offense, and that's what transitioned into a 3-2 loss tonight, despite the fact the Mavericks out shooting Bowling Green. 34-25 shots on goal. Neither team on the power play tonight. Mavericks win the face-off battle 34-27. Look at the standings now. Bowling Green up by 3 points on the Mavericks after the win tonight. Again, MSU does have 2 games in hand on Bowling Green and games in hand on Tech and Bemidji State, but right now this one kind of hurts tonight, and they absolutely have to get a victory tomorrow night. I'll take a look at the play of the game, Don. Our Jay Beal top 4 play of the game, and I think it's going to be a save by Aaron Nelson, who did a pretty good job. He's going to take the loss in this one tonight, and that's him getting back into the play and helping out the cause. And again, our Jay Beal top 4 play of the game. Jay Beal Real Estate Group does the little things that make a big difference. And
I thought he played a pretty good game, to be completely honest with you.
He did, giving up those breaks. And as you mentioned, he stopped the big break away earlier on in the overtime session as we take a look at our out-of-town scores.
And overtime, Alaska and Ferris tonight 3-3. Anchorage wins in overtime over Tech 4-3, so that's good news for the Mavericks. Lake Superior State and Northern Michigan tied at 1 in overtime. Gophers leading Michigan by a pair in the third. BU beat BC earlier tonight, and Penn State by 3 over Michigan State. Penn State is definitely going to make the NCAA tournament for their first time ever. Western Michigan shuts out Denver tonight, 3-0 at St. Cloud with a final over UMD. That's a big win for the Huskies. And for pair-wise, not too bad for the Mavericks. North Dakota and Miami tied at 3 in the third. Rensselaer shuts out Harvard tonight. Union over Dartmouth, and St. Lawrence beats Brown in a game that everybody was wondering about tonight.
Well, once again, our final score in a big game in the WCHA between the two teams that came in tied for third place, but the Mavericks give up the 3 points here tonight in the 3-2 overtime loss. And, especially with the few number of home games remaining after now tonight, just 5 more. And we'll see. It's a little bit of a gut check time here for this Maverick. I'm sure they have to be somewhat dejected in that locker room.
It's interesting that this game, the way it was going, just seemed like this is going to be a Maverick victory. They were skating, they were up and down the ice, having no trouble, and then Bowling Green just picked it up a bit. Not a ton, but just enough to kind of get back into the fray a little bit. They got it tied up twice, and then when you get into overtime, any mistake, one mistake will beat you, and the Mavericks made that one mistake tonight. It beat them, and they're going to have to figure out a way to win tomorrow night. They can't get swept on their home ice because even though, again, they have those games in hand, if you get swept on your home ice,
those two games in hand just get you back to even.
Yep. And so all the credit to the Falcons. They persisted, got through maybe a sluggish first period of play, but in the end, in overtime, it's Bowling Green tonight with a 3-2 win over the Mavericks of Minnesota State Mankato. For Dan McCarger, myself, Don Westfall, and the rest of the students from Bethany Lutheran College, we thank you for watching, and we hope to see you back here again tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, pregame show, 7:07, the face-off from downtown Mankato. Minnesota State Mankato and Bowling Green, Game 2 of this WCHA series.